Good morning and welcome to today's New York City Council hearing.
Will the
for
Zoom
this-
host, sorry, will the Zoom host please start the webinar?
Webinar started.
Thank you. And welcome to today's New York City Council hearing for the Subcommittee on Landmarks, Public Siting, and Dispositions. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. No one may approach the dais at any time during this hearing. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to a meeting of the Subcommittee on Landmarks, Public Sightings, and Dispositions. I'm Councilmember Sandy Nurse, and I'll be acting chair of the subcommittee today. I'm joined today by my colleagues, Majority Leader Amanda Farias and Councilmember Salam. Before we begin today's agenda, I will remind everyone that this meeting is being held in a hybrid format for members of the public who wish to testify remotely. We ask that you first register online, and you may do so now by visiting. Okay. Cool.
Microphone check. This is a microphone check for hearing room number 3 for the hearing on landmarks. Microphone check. One, two, three, four. Microphone check. 1, 2, 3. This is a microphone check. Mic check. Mic. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. This is a microphone check for hearing room number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check.
So they're all like discombobulated, but I'm about to share this hearing, but they said they just wanted to know who responded to us. And I was like,
Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check.
David Bayless? Okay. Oh, I don't know.
One, two, two, two. Mic check.
I'm about to text you on the phone or watch it on your computer. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. you need to, I'm gonna text you on my other phone, I'll plug this one in.
Mic check 1 2 3 for hearing room 3. Mic check.
Just make sure it's okay.
This is Councilmember D.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check for hearing room number 3. Hearing room 3. Mic check.
Okay, so I will put it here.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check.
Sorry. Audio.
Check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check.
Are they gonna have any questions?
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check.
This should be.
Yeah, I have. Councilmember, I have 4, but I'll give it to you first. No, you go ahead first, because I'll give you space for the, if you want to do some opening remarks. And then I'll do the questions first.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
They don't do this.
Just an update, guys. We're having tech issues in all the hearing rooms, every single one. Right now, IT is on its way to try to fix that issue. So sorry for the delay. Thank you for your patience.
It's a pretty fancy hearing room they got. I'm impressed. It's like a library, you're not supposed to talk, I know.
Microphone check for hearing room 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Microphone check for hearing room 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check for hearing room number 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Good morning and welcome back to today's New York City Council hearing for the Committee on Landmarks. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. No one may approach the dais at any time during this hearing. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Good morning again. Welcome to our new hearing rooms. Welcome to a meeting of the Subcommittee on Landmarks, Public Sitings, and Dispositions. I'm Councilmember Sandy Nurse. I'll be the acting chair of the subcommittee today. I am joined today by my colleagues, Councilmember Salam, Majority Leader Farias, and Councilmember Mealy. Before we begin with today's agenda, I will remind everyone that this meeting is being held in a hybrid format. For members of the public who wish to testify remotely, we ask that you first register online, and you may do so now by visiting www.cancel.nyc.gov/landuse to sign up, and then sign into the Zoom and remain signed in until you have testified. For anyone with us today in person and wishing to testify, if you have not already done so, please see one of our sergeants to fill out a speaker's card, and we will call your name at the appropriate time. For anyone wishing to submit written testimony on the items being heard today, we ask that you please send it via email to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov, including the land use number and/or project name in the subject line of your email. Video and audio testimony will not be accepted. I remind members of the public that this is a government proceeding and that decorum shall be observed at all times. As such, members of the public shall remain silent unless and until called to testify. The witness table is reserved for people who wish to testify. No video recording or photography is allowed from the witness table. Further, members of the public may not present audio or video recordings as testimony, but may submit transcripts of such recordings to the sergeant for inclusion in the hearing record. We will now hold a public hearing for a pre-considered land use item for the 2149-2153 Pacific Street Article 11 request, which is an application for a 40-year Article 11 property tax exemption retroactive to April 1st, 2018 under Section 577 of the Private Housing Finance Law to facilitate the rehabilitation of 3 existing buildings at the site for a total of approximately 24 affordable housing units. This exemption will replace an existing real property exemption, which is set to expire in 2032 and will be retroactively terminated. The project is located in Councilmember Mealy's district in Brooklyn. Appearing today on the proposal on behalf of the city's Department of Housing Preservation and Development are Devin Pereira, Jacob Kotler, and Justin Donlin. Okay. I already mentioned about the testifying. So first, I'm going to pass it to Councilmember Mealy for her opening remarks before I turn it over to the panelists.
Good morning, chairs and my colleagues. I just want to let you know about this Article 11 for, I guess, 17 years this has been going on, or more, about 10 or 15 years. We went through another administration. I was in office. It went through another administration. I'm back in office. It's still here. And I just hope my community is watching this. I asked them to watch this. Anyone else would love to have 40 years to not pay taxes on their house. And here it is, this city, I just found out about that law, y'all saying that y'all gonna retroact it for 17 years. When the city is taking people homes for 1 year's taxes, and now we're gonna give someone who is probably have connection with somebody in the mayor's office or whoever to give them 40 years. I said 25 would be good. I don't know when this administration started doing 40 years, 20 to 25 I could see, because no other entity in this city, and that's regular average people, cannot have their taxes probated back for years. And here it is, we as this city government is going to give this to a development. We don't know if after they get the tax abatement for 17 years back taxes and then give them 40 more years. How do you know they're not going to knock down these 3 buildings in which one is totally vacant? No one, I have tried to speak to everyone in that building. They only have one individual that I even put a police complaint in that let me see what is needed to be done with this building. So I just asked this community and my colleagues to consider this. Not 40 years, 25 years would be good. And now that we have this legislation for 17 years to be taxes, the back taxes to be paid with this money right now that we just discussed it now that we're gonna vote on. Please know this is so injustice to this city in which people are losing their homes for $2,000 worth of taxes. And now we're giving a big entity that have resources and that we're gonna give them 40 years to not pay taxes. Just think of that. How many of you do not wanna pay taxes on your own home? And here it is, we giving entities. And I think about so many others, small 6-family units could get this, but they don't know the right people in HBD. They don't know how to fill out the paperwork that they can be tax exempt for 40 years. So I asked maybe this process has to be better to let everyone know that they could get 40 years. They do not have to pay taxes on their homes, the small homeowners. So Right now, I'm against this project. If it's not 25 years, I'm not voting for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember Mealy. Council, would you please swear in the panelists?
Panelists, please raise your right hands. I will ask you in turn to answer the following. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions? Mr. Pereira?
I do.
Mr. Kotler? Yes. Mr. Donlin?
I do.
Thank you.
You all may begin.
We have a presentation.
Okay. Can we get the presentation up? Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm Jacob Kotler. I'm the HPD project manager that's been working directly with 214953 Pacific Street, which is located in the Ocean Hill neighborhood in Brooklyn. Next slide, please. So just a high-level overview of the building's history and ownership. The city gained title to the property back in 1988 through an NREM tax foreclosure. And it was in 1993 where a moderate rehab was last completed to the building. The building was conveyed to the HDFC back in 1992 through the TIL program, and there are 24 units total. Currently, there are 20 that are occupied by shareholders, 3 that are occupied by rental tenants, and there's 1 vacant unit. Next slide, please. So here's a breakdown of the units that I described, as well as an overview of the average housing cost. So there's 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units inside of these buildings. The average cost for a 1 bedroom, $595. 2 bedroom is $581 a month, and then 3 bedroom is $600 a month. So looking at the average, which is around $581 for these housing costs, this is quite low compared to the rental market in the area. It's about 20% AMI with these current housing costs, and that's relative to the neighborhood, which is around 90% AMI. Also want to note that the building has been operating at a loss with its income less than the actual expenses that have been incurred by the building. And for our projects, we like to see buildings have at least like 5% above what they would expend on expenses. So 1.05 income to expense ratio is what we call that. And then the ANCP program through HPD, which helps convert co-ops, the standard is 1.1. Next slide, please. So an overview of some of the financial and physical issues that this building has been experiencing. So as noted, these arrears started around 2018. Right now, they stand around $322K. And this is with a partial tax exemption that the building already has, which is known as the damp exemption. And that is set to expire, as was noted, in 2032. And just an overview of some of the building needs. Part of the reason why the reason it's working with HPD, building envelope, window replacements, boiler upgrades are needed, plumbing and storm line improvements are needed, as well as new electrical breakers. And a really important part of our discussions with the building have been related to the building's cash flow. So how much money is available for their accounts and reserves after paying for any debt and any operating expenses. There hasn't been a maintenance increase at this building in some time, and it's been hard for us to identify the last time it actually did occur. And based off of some of the calculations that we've worked on, looking at what the building's year 1 cash flow might be, and that's the cash flow after construction has been completed, the first year afterwards. So without any maintenance increases, it would be negative $43,940, and this is factoring in the Article 11 exemption without the maintenance increases. And then the maintenance increases that we have discussed with the building, which would provide about 331K in cash flow for that year one. And this is, again, something that's been actively discussed with the building, understanding the need for these maintenance increases in order to improve their income and long-term financial stability. Next slide, please. So the building came to HPD, requesting this full Article 11 tax exemption to help the building, maintain financial stability for the next 40 years. And in part of this process, we'd be regulating the building through a regulatory agreement. This has various provisions to try to maintain affordability, as well as try to allow the building to have some financial stability. So there's things called a flip tax, which relate to sales. So a portion of those sales, 10%, would go back to the co-op. There are reserve requirements, so a certain amount of funds need to be set aside into reserve each year. Again, this is there to help the building's financial stability. We also have income and sale price restrictions to make sure that it's focused on housing low to moderate income folks. And then any rental that may still be in the unit, upon vacancy, it needs to be sold. And in our regulatory agreement, we do have a formula that sets the max sale price. So this is a breakdown of what those sale prices might look like compared to market comps in the neighborhood. So 439K for the one bedroom compared to 516K. Two bedroom, 549K compared to 687K. And then three bedrooms would be around 645K compared to 695K. And just want to note that the calculations for a sale price are based off a 7% interest rate. And just to note, if I didn't call on it, but the max income restrictions per our regulatory agreement are 120% AMI. And sale prices are set relative to 100% AMI. And that concludes my presentation.
Okay. Thank you so much. Can you back up a couple slides? I actually had one question. I know you can't. Can the slide person back up to, I don't know where they are, but can they back up 2 slides? And sorry, can you go forward 1? Can you just reiterate the cash flow piece?
Yeah. So we've been talking about necessary maintenance increases to improve the building's income. So the main variable that we look at is cash flow. So these are funds available for the building to set aside into their reserves or their accounts after paying for necessary operating expenses, electricity, utilities.
Sorry, I guess I meant,
Okay.
what is the increase from the maintenance fee?
Yeah.
If there is one.
So we've
currently,
discussed about a 63% increase,
Okay.
and this would be phased over 3 years. So we've discussed like a 25% increase, which would happen around next year. The following year would be 18%, and then the year after that would be 11%.
To bring it up to the full 63? Sorry, I can't do
Yes,
that math.
exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
great. Okay. We already talked about the breakdown of owners and renters. Do you have any information you can share on the average income for the existing residents?
I mean, based off of discussions with, with the building, I would say it's probably around 30% AMI or less for the folks, but we don't have a definitive number on their incomes.
Okay. So the current rent is not too far off from what they're actually able to pay. And what are the plans that you have for those residents during the actual rehab work?
Well, in terms of like safety precautions or anything
Do you
like
need
that.
to relocate them?
No
Okay.
relocation is required. We typically require that for any substantial or gut rehabs. But most of these repairs can happen with folks in place. And there would also be a tenant protection plan per DOB requirements. So measures would be taken to make sure that folks are safe.
Okay, and then what's the kind of timeline in terms of outreach or lead time before work begins?
Can you clarify that?
What kind of outreach or lead time will be given to the residents before work begins?
As far as I understand, the building has been pretty well aware of these repairs and the work that's been involved with us, HPD. So, they'd have to, a board resolution needs to be passed in order to actually approve the loan. That would happen prior to our closing. So no matter what, it'd be, a couple months in advance of any work starting that folks in the building would be aware.
Okay. I just want to recognize Councilmember Marte has joined us. Councilmember Mealy, do you have any questions?
Yes. How much the loan is going to be?
The loan right now is a little over $2 million.
2 million. If this go through, you're going to pay back the taxes 17 years, and then the Article 11 will kick in, and then you're going to get a $2 million loan, right? To do repairs.
To do repairs, yes.
And you're HBD, right? Mm-hmm. So what makes this building, these buildings, any different from any other co-op? Because I've known co-ops have went under. Some of my co-ops, they took it over when HBD didn't help them, and they took it over with my help. So what makes this one so different than any other ones?
Thank you, Councilmember Mealy, for your earlier comments. I just want to clarify that we have an open
You HBD?
HPD. We have an open application process, so you can go to Multifamily Rehabilitation Program, an HPD website, and you can submit an application. We have a number of projects.
When did they get this application put in?
I'm sorry,
When did they put in the application?
Jacob. Do you know when the
Like
application?
around 2018, I want to say, yeah.
I didn't hear you.
Around 2018, we believe. So anyone in the city can apply. Our program is meant to help rehabilitate and stabilize low-income properties. We provide loans and tax exemptions in exchange for regulatory agreements to keep sales prices and rents and maintenance affordable to all residents. It's an open process. Anyone can apply.
Yes, we are aware. I just asked, what makes these buildings any different from anyone in this whole city?
So this building applied to our program, and
How many others has applied?
how many other? We have about
Co-ops.
We have about 70 co-ops in our pipeline.
In your portfolio, 70?
Yes. We're working
Everyone got Article 11?
that it is typical for our
Because I haven't
applicants.
heard that many Articles 11. Only people from finance or in their district, they got Article 11. It's like if you in the know, you could get it. But if you're not, the average individual never gets it. So how many out of 70?
I can't give an exact number, but most of our projects that come through our pipeline and our typical projects like this, a 24-unit, low-income shareholder owned co-op. It is
How many
typical.
shareholders do you have in this? One building is vacant, right?
No, I don't
Yes.
believe any of these.
A whole building is
One
vacant.
vacant unit.
It's one whole building that is vacant.
That's not my understanding. My understanding
It
is
is.
just one
You
vacant
should go
unit.
see for yourself. So how many tenants do you have? 20? No, shareholders.
20
20.
shareholders, yeah.
Okay. You say. Okay. You can finish.
Yes, it is typical for
I got about 3 other questions and I'm finished.
buildings in our pipeline, this is, an average building in our pipeline, to
Could talk
receive
up. I
a tax
can't hear.
exemption. Yes. It is typical for buildings in our, applicants in our pipeline to receive Article 11 tax
How did
exemptions.
you choose this one since it was already in tax trouble? How did HPD choose this development out of all the other ones that have almost 20 years in the tax arrears? So how did HPD choose this one?
We are working with multiple projects at any given time.
And y'all felt this one is not too much enough that you can help them? I just want to understand.
We're working with many projects on Article 11 tax exemptions. This is just one of many.
Yes, and I'm asking, what criteria is it that you choose different co-ops that are in trouble to give them Article 11?
Depending on
40 years to not pay taxes. And this project did not pay taxes for 17 years. So why did you choose this one? That's all I want to know.
my understanding is that their back taxes started accruing since 2018, which is about 6 years ago.
2018. Do you know I was in office, then got out of office, and now I'm back in office, and this still is going on? Why didn't you do it 8 years ago? Why didn't it pass 8 years, HPD?
I can't speak to what happened 8 years ago. I know that they applied to us shortly
In
after.
2018.
And it,
And somebody just said that the AMI was going to be 100% after this is all done. True? You just stated that in this.
I mentioned 100% AMIs is the standard for setting the sale price, but after these increases, the AMI would be around 32%.
You sure?
Yes.
32% AMI. So that would stay, it'll go up just a little for these co-op owners?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any further questions?
Did you tell
Councilmember
me how
Neal?
much the loan was? Two
Yeah.
million. And you still didn't tell me why that one building is vacant?
That I can't speak to.
When was the last time you went out there?
I haven't been out there, I will say.
Nobody from HPD.
we speak to the management company and the shareholders.
I tried to
on a-
speak to the
on a regular
management company,
base-
never got
basis.
through. So,
We'd be happy to connect.
okay. Thank you. And I just want the city to know, 40 years of taxes, who would not want that? And this is so almost bogus that we are doing this to this just 3 buildings. When this city is in a crisis, they have lost their homes over 1 year not paying taxes. So I'm so glad you came here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Mealy, and maybe you all could just follow up with us and confirm that the building is only vacant in 1 unit, just so we can just get it on the record. Do any other council members have questions? I have a question. Councilmember Marte.
Has HPD spoken to every tenant in the building? Just because with the potential financial hikes, we want to make sure that no tenant is evicted without understanding, how much it's going to increase, especially in the next 3 years.
We interact with the management company and the board, who is the legal representative for the HDFC co-op, and we send out notices prior to closing. I just want to make it very clear that the increases that are being required are not there to pay back HPD debt. They are to make sure that the building can afford to pay their operating expenses. And as part of that, we are offering this building, along with other buildings in our pipeline, tax exemptions that run the length of the loan for the rehab projects that we are, the rehab loans that we are issuing.
And were these notices sent to every single tenant or just to management?
These notices get sent out prior to closing, which is a few months away. They will get sent out to every resident.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Marte. I'll just say that I think that preserving low-income co-ops and ownership opportunities is incredibly important. It's something I think the council has a lot of consensus on opportunities for home ownership. We're talking about a 12% increase here on units that people are paying about $600 for, which is pretty golden right now. And it seems, from my understanding, what you're saying, that the money that would be generated is actually going back, or the savings goes directly into repairing those buildings to improve the quality of living in those units. And whatever gets sold would still be, even though I find it personally wild that the one bedroom would cost like $400,000 in the world, it's still pretty damn good for what is on the market. So I'm just putting that from my perspective on the record. But I think we are now going to move into testimony if there's no other questions from council members. Okay, so thank you, panelists, for coming today. Council, are there any of the members of the public who wish to testify on this item?
We have one person in the room with us signed up to testify, and then we have 2 online witnesses that I'm aware of to testify after that.
Thank you. We will now dismiss the panel. And Wayne Finley may come forward. Okay, when you're ready, you may begin. You can either pull the mic close and then turn on the little button. You have about 2 minutes.
Good morning, Councilwoman Nurse and members of the subcommittee. My name is Wayne Finley, and I am president of Bluefin Development. We are a family-owned real estate firm that my brother, daughter, and I operate. While our firm engages in development work, in this case, we've served as the property manager and rehabilitation consultant to the co-op shareholders at 2149 through 2153 Pacific Street. The shareholders of these buildings have achieved the dream of home ownership and do their very best to keep the property affordable and well-maintained. Despite their best efforts, the building is experiencing financial distress, which is also now impacting their ability to properly maintain it. We, as a management company, conducted a full building needs analysis, and it is critical that we replace the roof, windows, boiler, and very importantly, we must also replace a number of electrical panels in the building. It has been a pleasure to work with the project managers at HPD's preservation unit to help put together a rehabilitation plan, the financing for which we are ready to almost immediately close on. The final piece of this puzzle is an Article 11 tax exemption, which we are humbly requesting the City Council to approve. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and thank you for this hearing today.
Thank you. Any questions? How long have you all been managing this building?
We've been managing the building since 2019, I believe.
Okay.
Or 2018.
Okay. Well, hopefully with this new conditions put on the building, there can be better efforts made to sustain the building. We have a lot of co-ops falling into this kind of situation because of poor management.
Sure.
And maybe bad decisions or lack of willingness to make hard choices by boards. And hopefully we can continue to fix that through these types of moves. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And I now have online, you're dismissed from the table. Thank you so much. And now have online LaQuisha Kellam. You may begin.
Starting time.
Hi. I'm LaQuisha Kellum Smith. I have resided at the building. First of all, good morning, Councilwoman Nurse and the members of the subcommittee. I've resided in this co-op 2149-53 Pacific Street, HDFC, for about 14 years. And I just joined the board of directors because I really care about the neighborhood. I care about my neighbors. That's about all I have to say. But thank you for listening to us today.
Thank you. Thank you for testifying. Next up, we have Janique Bradley.
Starting time.
Good morning, Acting Chair Nurse and members of the subcommittee. My name is Janique Edwards, and I'm currently serving as the Acting Board President for 2149 through 53 Pacific Street, HDFC. So I've been a resident and a shareholder at 21 Pacific Street for over 9 years. In 2016, I joined the board as a treasurer to help my neighbors, many of whom are elderly, manage the corporation and protect our homes. Over the years, our community has worked tirelessly to keep the HDFC stable and thriving with invaluable support from Bluefin Management. Together, we've built a sense of community and a safe, affordable place where our neighbors look out for one another. So, as the acting president, my goal is to preserve that stability and affordability, especially for our senior shareholders. We've done everything possible to keep maintenance costs manageable, but increasing expenses and deferred maintenance on major building systems are creating challenges we just can't afford to ignore. Through this HPD program, we have identified our most critical repair needs and worked diligently to refine a realistic budget to address those. The final step in this long process is the approval of a tax exemption through an Article 11, which will allow us to move forward with the essential repairs and continue offering affordable homeownership opportunities. We're deeply grateful for the council's ongoing commitment to supporting affordable housing in the city, and we respectfully ask for your approval of this exemption within the near future. Thank you so much for your time and for your consideration.
Thank you so much. Not seeing any other members of the public who wish to testify regarding the pre-considered land use item for a project known as 2149, 2153 Pacific Street, Article 11. The public hearing is now closed. The item is laid over. And that concludes today's business. Thank you to everybody, staff, and